It's 11:12 on January 1st, 2019. Happy New Year. I was going to start at 11:11 and a friend just texted me a picture of 11:11, of a screenshot of their phone on January 1st, and I looked up and it was 11:12. So here I am, and I'm kind of in creative mode right now. Yesterday I had my teeth whitened. This is the most yellow one, but it's already looking better. I had it whitened and cleaned with ozone therapy. And the lady was so cool and generous with her time and her information and knowledge. So I'm going to look into this ozone therapy thing more. I bought an ozone machine, a water ozonator. So I'm curious how ozonated swirl water will be. And I also bought some other stuff for what I'm creating, and some supplement powders like magnolia bark, because that's an expensive supplement. And if I get it in powder, that will save some money. So I'm leaving the United States, or leaving where I am, on the 20th of January. So I'm gonna try to order some things that would be not available on Amazon Prime Canada, or would be more expensive in terms of shipping. So I'll kind of be ordering more stuff and getting all this creative stuff in order. There's been some challenges, and I think this is going to be a challenging year, and there are many reasons for that. But I feel ready to see that and move with that and act based on that, and I see what I can do. Might start this teeth cleaning business or something. I'm setting up all the stuff for Synchronicity, and it's coming together nicely, and it should be something that I can do all from my phone. That is the goal. So yeah, I'll be working on that mostly, and I'll catch up with myself a little bit here and there, but mostly now I'll be getting ready to go to Vegas. Now this is a dream come true. It's pretty cool to start off January 2019 with a dream come true of seeing Celine Dion in concert. That'll be pretty fun. I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, so I'm in super creative mode, and I'll share what I'm creating, and I'm not really going to share too much of how I'm doing it along the way, because I'll probably make a course of some kind sharing how I did it, so that other people like me can benefit from this type of thing. And maybe it won't work out, but I'm feeling like instead of sort of drawing up the plans, I'm sort of putting together the online scaffolding, and it's kind of fun, actually. So yeah, yesterday I went out for Indian food, and the day before I went out for dinner too. I'm spending a lot of money, and I'm glad that I got $30,000 in credit, and I could look kind of crazy for spending a lot of it over these next few months. But I'm just sort of going for it. You know, I'm lucky to have access to that money to create this business, or whatever it is I'm creating. Sort of creating a life of how I move in life is my business. And it's sort of going to be something apart from the movement of becoming that would want to assimilate me into those structures. So I'm just really going to try to stay away from any kind of structures that would assimilate me by the observer effect, collapsing my wave function into functioning the way that other people function. And here I've learned that people don't really understand how I function and how this creative energy functions, and you can't really explain it. And that sort of loses energy to try to explain it. Though if you create with that energy and show what you did, then people will be like, oh, that's creative. But I don't know if they see that either. But anyway, it's fun for me, and it's a project for me, because I've spent 2.5 years talking to myself to get to this point where I'm in California. And I've sort of realized that I've been unbeknownst to me, I've been sort of playing a certain character or role in order to get myself here. And being in this community, I need to play a certain character or role. You know, community member, being considerate of others, and all this is important, and I wouldn't get rid of this anyway. These are such important things to know and learn. But what I've realized is when I leave here, since I won't be going back to my familiar structure in terms of family, I don't know about the job offer I haven't heard back, and I'm thinking of not taking it, even if it is sent to me. Because what I realized is I can create myself however I want now. Like, I can create my artist self and myself as an art. And, you know, I can share like poetry and songs on the spot. I can, if I'm in the creative energy, I can dress up like a cartoon. Like these things that I was testing out along the way. What I've learned here this time in California is how to get up and move and function no matter how heavy the energy is in the morning. And it's not a matter of feeling personally depressed. It's literally when there's not as much creative energy in the morning, like it's not just there in the morning. It takes a while to get moving, to get it to come into the body. So I can like get up, you know, I don't like let my alarm go and press the button. I get up, I go shower, and sometimes just showering, that process, there's like insights or what I might want to create today comes into my mind in the shower. So then that's the next step. And then all of a sudden I get into this creativity and doing one thing after another and sort of preparing myself to leave here and have some of the creative tools that I need in hand and on hand and those ideas. So I'll have those tools when I go back with me to Canada, and I'll have time to sort of put that together. And I'm seeing how this will really help me no matter what. I'm pretty sure this is the idea that I'm going for. And I remember I was looking at the Bipolar in Order website. On their mailing list, the mail out was about wrestling with an idea, and I was tempted to sort of join the community and get help from them in terms of relationships or wrestling with ideas. But for me, I haven't really been, the universe doesn't really let me seek help. It lets me find excellence. It lets me experience excellent care practitioners in terms of, you know, this acupuncturist helping me with my body energy, and I don't know if I'll continue with this, but now sort of the last thing that I explored health-wise while I'm here in the United States is this oxygen teeth cleaning. And there's this woman doing it, and she's a woman, and it just really resonates. She's like super happy, and some of the stuff she said was just incredible. Like, why would I stop working when I'm having so much fun? Like, this is so much fun. And you know, I wrote down some of what she said just because, you know, it's really hard sometimes when you have this really powerful, fun, creative, happy, learning, sharing energy to embody that all the time. And she's able to. She called her office her tree house. Her name is Dr. Barbara Dorio. And she's like, I'm not bothered. I don't try to convince the dentists anymore. I just do what I do and steal their patients. And it was interesting. And she said to people that, she said to us, well, your doctor or your dentist, they're not going to believe you, and we don't care. And she said she doesn't bother to talk to the dentists, and she just steals their patients and not trying to influence the dentists in any way. You know, and this is how I feel too. Like, if I extrapolate that to what I want to share, is like, I don't want to fight psychiatry. Why would one want to go up against this big Goliath of something? And I realized, like, people want to be healthy and happy. They don't even care as much if they're to come off the meds per se, like right away. If they can like feel good, look good, move around and function. Like for me, I'm on this 50 milligrams a day of quetiapine. I really don't care. Like, if I can move around and function and I don't feel like my brain's not working, it doesn't matter that much. And luckily I've had times of not being on them to realize that there is that possibility. And so my body can relax in knowing that it is possible to come off them if all of a sudden they were making me completely non-functional. But the more I can function with them, actually, the less effect it probably has on my brain, because I'm building so many brain structures around movement and functioning and gestures and action that, like, the little bit that it's suppressing in terms of the drugs is probably helpful. I think it is, because it sort of buys time. I think it suppresses or tranquilizes the area of the brain that's sort of the self-structure that's traumatized, and coming off them could bring up manifestations and situations that one would have to face and deal with some of that stuff that one has been avoiding. And I'm sure I'll have to deal with more and more that I've been avoiding. And now, by moving creatively and being able to function, I feel like I'll be able to get up and face the day either way, hopefully. And I have this creative way, and I see that, people who get traumatized, sometimes they go into this, or get this sort of bipolar thing, if you want to call it that, because it's like a wave of going up into creativity and down into trauma, and up into creativity and down into trauma. It breaks this sort of consistent self-structure that would have us, quote, stable. But like the creativity, that energy wave can sort of heal and save us in a way. And then when we're in the trauma, it's really hard to weather that storm and find support and acceptance and love from others. So with this creativity, sometimes we keep it all to ourselves selfishly. Like, this is my creativity. And then when we go down into trauma, it's like, well, it's everyone's fault that this happened to me. And I'm not saying any of this is right or wrong. It just seems to be something that I've realized here, is that when I have the lower energy, I don't have as quick of body movement and action. So I'm sort of looking around, judging what other people are doing. I wouldn't say judging as in evaluating, like, this person's bad, but sort of seeing that they could move more efficiently, seeing that they could share more, things like that. And because when I'm in that energy, that higher energy, I'm moving efficiently, I'm able to do so much, multitask, think of a million things at once in terms of who to help and what I'm doing. And here there's been that sort of contained environment to do it in sort of a limited way, meaning I'm not like giving my money away to everyone, but I might like buy chocolates to give out to the community here, and it's a small community. So like finding a community to be creative in and share that energy, but then also seeing that it's not really valued that much, because it's sort of something that you can't evaluate. It's so spontaneous and open and energetic that, if one tries to evaluate it, they're actually, the person who is in that energy is being limited by the observer effect. But the energy is so great that it just sort of shares and creates some kind of ripple effect anyway that you can't measure and calculate. If the person with the creative energy just starts thinking like, well, that happened because I did that, and people are picking up on how great I am, well, that limits it too. So any kind of like measuring or trying to find some kind of cause and effect is quite limiting of the energy. And I wrote down, like, seems like people who want to talk about experience, it's more about the state of observation and emotion. And then when it's action and creativity, it's motion. So it's the body in motion. The body's in such quick motion. There's no time to sit back and worry about me. And I don't think either state is wrong. It's just sort of this thing that happens. Somebody said to me the other day, 2 days ago, and I was like in a like happy creative state and enjoying myself and feeling effortless and stuff. They basically said that I'm selfish. And I really just didn't resonate with that as true. And I think I am in a certain time and place and context and at times in my life, but I feel that's not true now, especially about like how I've been operating here. I don't feel like it's really selfish at all. The only thing that I feel could be selfish is that I've been focusing more on like a single relationship than all the relationships here. So the insight I could have into that is, I do have to find a way to share with other people this energy, because a lot of the energy I've like sort of been going up and down in terms of like trying to share and be loving, and then coming back down into collapsing into this observer self who feels bad. But I don't think saying that I'm selfish is ultimately bad, but how it connected for me as hurtful was that I'm about to live my dream of going to Celine Dion, and this person has only known me for 3 months, whereas I've been in this sort of mental health framework for 7.5 years. And it's taken a lot of time and energy and learning and so much to get to this point. Like talking to myself so much on video, which is, one good thing about that is it's an impartial observer, impartial witness. I can say whatever I want. The phone listens. I can hear myself talking, and nobody tries to say, no, that's not the way it is. And so the hurtful part was I know how hard I've worked and how much I've changed. Maybe I do still have like an evil core that I was born with, for sure. But I feel like it's mostly crowded out. And I really had this strong thing come to my brain that I don't believe, and I don't think I can be made to believe, that living one's dreams is selfish. And that's sort of what came to my mind. It's like, living one's dreams isn't selfish. And the thing is, this is my dream, and I've invited someone along with me, and I'm paying for the whole thing. And I don't care about that, but I just feel like to be called selfish when I would probably take almost anyone with me on this trip, all paid, I want to take this particular person who I care about, and then the same person is like, you're selfish. And I'm just like, this just feels strange. This feels strange to, like, every single thing that I buy for this other person too. And to be called selfish, the thing is, there's a lot of truth in that, love isn't about money or stuff. And one of my love languages is giving stuff and sharing stuff, partly because, another love language is kind words and all that. And that's important for sure, because it really hurts to be called selfish when I don't believe that to be true of myself at this point in my life. And I'm trying to make up for that karmically. I really am. And create a world where people are forgiving of mistakes. And anyway, I just didn't feel good at all. And I just feel like there's no amount of anything that I can do to make up for whatever it is. And I don't know if it's about making up. So yeah, I just don't really resonate with being selfish, and I want to be more selfless and generous. That's what feels really good to me. And it was good to experience being really hurt by that. And I don't think I would have been hurt by that if it wasn't a few days before going to my dream concert of seeing Celine Dion. And I do feel that it's so important to find out what our dream is and to live it for ourselves, without harming other people. But we can't shrink into mediocrity for other people's comfort. Like some people's family would rather someone be like a mediocre dentist than, a great painter who maybe isn't really recognized in their lifetime. But the person who's the great painter, that same person, as a mediocre dentist, they're like living this life that they don't love, but their family's happy. And then the mediocre or the great painter who isn't recognized is just in this creative flow that's so beautiful. And a lot of times that beauty is unrecognizable, and it's so beyond measure that, it doesn't matter. What matters is going for one's dreams. And that's such an important message for kids. Like, go for your dream, no matter what, because otherwise you're situated and you end up in situations that you weren't meant to experience. And then there can be this really jarring reorganization and reorientation of the quantum field and quantum holographic reality, that in order to survive, you have to survive the accidents that happen to you in order to continue going on in the life that you would live with your family, that then they could see you live your dreams. And then when you finally sort of make this jump into living your dreams and you're still with your family in the same reality, even though you might not be around them all the time, then they can enjoy your success And but it's hard to get to that success if they are witnessing you, if they're looking at you, because of the observer effect. It's really powerful. And yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna keep going and try to figure this out because it's really important for my life. And I do think it's possible to live joyful and happy, like this lady who's cleaning people's teeth and whitening their teeth. Half the year she works and half the year she's on a cruise ship enjoying her time with her husband. So yeah, I really don't know, and I'm excited to find out. I'm excited to share some of what I'm creating with you at some point. It could be fun.